welcome to Magical Travel Adventure. I am Lauren, your host, and today we are going to talk about planning your Disney World vacation. This is so exciting if you're thinking about going or you're in the planning process. Let's talk a little bit about planning and going to Disney World. So, if you're new here, hello, I am Lauren. I'm a travel advisor and I help you feel like a kid on your vacation because I take care of all the details so you can actually enjoy your vacation. All right, now let's get into talking about planning for your Disney World vacation. When you're thinking about a Disney World vacation, guess what the main thing is? It's your budget. And oftentimes people think like, oh, that's so silly. I'm just going to spend whatever it is, or I don't really know what the average budget is. I can tell you that the average Disney World budget is so wide ranging that you need to come up with what it is that you want to do. This is your vacation, if no one ever told you. So you don't have to do what other people in your family have done, what your neighbor did, what your kids' friends have done. You're going to do what vacation is going to work best for you when you go to Disney World. So the main thing you want to think about, or the main thing most people think about, are the package reservations. That's when you have a hotel and tickets and it's all bundled into one price, and then you pay that off over time. So you want to think about how much you want to, portion to that hotel and tickets. The next thing you want to think about are flights. Are you going to fly? Are you going to take the train? Are you going to drive? All those things and how that's going to affect your budget. Maybe you're going to stay at a different hotel because you're going to drive down because it's not worth it for you for the flights. Or maybe you're a family of like 6. So flying 6 people is not as easy as driving 6 people in the car. You need to decide what's going to work for you and decide where the budget is going to land. Food options. Disney World does have an option where you can prepay for some of your food, not all of it, but some of it. So you can add that on, and that can be added to your hotel and tickets package. And then you can pay for all of that in advance. That helps a lot of people out, just having that and knowing that they have all that taken care of. So there's less of an expense once they get to their vacation. It's kind of like your mindset, how you think about it. So you really want to decide what is it that you want out of the vacation, and are these food options going to help you with your family on the vacation? Another thing, for some people, it's going to be strollers and ECVs. Do you need that stroller for your kids? Are you going to bring your own? Is it going to be too much to bring your own? Are you going to rent one when you're there? Are you going to have an ECV? Does someone have mobility issues? Do you need special equipment for the room so that everyone can go there and be happy? A big thing for families over 4 is where you can stay and what kind of accommodations you can stay in. So if you're a family over 4, you will not be able to stay at every hotel easily. And there's some maneuvering, or there are certain places that you can stay. The last thing is, if you are going to fly, you're also going to want to think about those airport transfers. Or if you're going from Disney World onto a cruise, you want to think about those transfers also. Now, when do you want to go? The next step is, after you've thought about the budget, after you thought about that all, now you're thinking about, okay, when is it that we're going to go? Is it going to make sense to go on a school break if you have kids? Is it going to make sense to go in the summer because that's the only time you can do it? Are you going to be going for 4 days? Are you going to be going for 7 days? Is it going to be sometime in between there? Are you going to be going for 10 days? Who knows? But these are all the things that you want to think about when you're thinking about when you want to go. And you want to think about, are you going to go at a time where there's a special party, like the Halloween party or the Christmas party? Is that your goal, to see the Halloween or the Christmas party? And so that's why you're going. So maybe it's a long weekend, or maybe your school, or you can take a week off and you could do the party within there. There's also special event tickets where certain parks are open later at night and you can buy tickets, and there's a select number of people who can go in that have purchased the tickets, and you can enjoy the rides there. So think about when you want to go. That comes after the budget. Yes, it does come after the budget, because maybe it's not going to work, right? Maybe you look at, okay, well, we want to go this summer, but it doesn't work in the budget. Or I want to go during the Halloween time so we can go to the Halloween party, but I can't even get our budget to work in that Halloween portion. So the budget is helping you to narrow down when you actually can go based on your budget. It still has to be a realistic budget. I can't change your mind on that, but you still need that budget time too. All right. And then you want to think about where you want to stay. You got those dates, you have your budget. Now you're going to look. You're going to look to see, can I stay at a value, moderate, or deluxe? Or you're going to say, I am a deluxe client. I'm only staying at a deluxe resort, or I'm only a value person. So I'm only staying at a value resort. And you're only looking at those. It really depends on what you want and what you're looking for. There is huge value in a deluxe resort. They really are closer to a lot of the things, especially the parks that you're looking to go to. So you really want to think about, it's not just about the cost, it's about the value that you're getting out of it. Are you going to be saving time? Is it going to be easier for you as the planner? Is it going to make more sense for you? Like maybe you're a value person and you can upgrade to that moderate, and it can be easier for you and your family because now you're staying at Caribbean Beach and now you have the Skyliner option, and that makes it easier to go to Hollywood Studios and Epcot. Also want to think about your touring style. Are you we're in the parks all day long and we are hardly at the hotel? Or are we yeah, we'll get to the parks and we'll take a break and then we'll come back and then we'll go back into the parks. And you're kind of like a back and forther. That's what I call them, a back and forther. Um, so where you stay is going to matter because you're going to spend more time there at the resort? Or are you park specific and that you're always in Epcot? So you want to stay at one of the resorts that's really close to Epcot, maybe even one that you can walk to. So think about that on where you want to go. The other thing is about transportation. There are some people who care about what kind of transportation each resort has in order to get to the hotel. I will say that since the Skyliner opened at Disney World, the Skyliner is a huge draw, and the hotels and resorts that are associated with the Skyliner are ones that are very popular. And a lot of people don't want to deal with bus transportation. So if your hotel is only going to do bus transportation, make sure that you're looking at that and looking at the ease of your travel. Is it easy where you're going to be? Like, is it going to be more complicated if you stay at Port Orleans Riverside, where there's an internal bus because it's such a large resort and you don't want to deal with an internal bus along with a regular bus that's just going to and from the parks? So think about those things when you're thinking about where it is that you want to stay. Tickets. You want to start a debate with someone? You talk about park tickets at Disney World. The first thing you want to know is, how many days are you going to be in the parks? Is it going to be 4 days? Is it going to be more? I will tell you that after 4 days of park tickets, the increase of the amount of money it is to add on days decreases the more days you have. Yes, I will explain that. So if I get a 4-day ticket, let's say it's $550 for one person for those 4 days, and it's a base ticket, okay? If I want to add on another day, it doesn't mean that it's going to be another $125. Sometimes it's just going to be, okay, well, now it's $600. And then I want to add a 7th day. Oh, well, it's $601. Eighth day? Oh, it's $610 now, right? So the increments are very low and decreasing the more days you add onto the tickets. So don't think like you're getting the best deal by doing 4-day tickets. That's actually like the highest amount you could pay per ticket per day if you're doing a 4-day ticket. So the more days you can add on to your ticket, you're actually gaining, you're not spending per day per ticket at that point. You're getting sort of like a discounted rate per day. Now, the two main options are a base ticket and a park hopper ticket. Base ticket means that you get one entry into each park per day. So if I have a 4-day ticket, one day I could go to Magic Kingdom, one day I could go to Epcot, one day I could go to Hollywood Studios, and one day I could go to Animal Kingdom. Or I might I skip Animal Kingdom altogether and I do 2 days at Magic Kingdom, one day at Epcot, or one day at Hollywood Studios. You can kind of decide what are the parks that you want to go to within those 4 days, as long as you buy a regular base day ticket and it's not some special ticket. What you cannot do with a base ticket is go to Magic Kingdom in the morning and then in the afternoon go to Epcot. That is a park hopper ticket. Park hopper ticket is about $100 more per ticket for your whole trip, no matter how long your trip is. So a park hopper ticket allows you to go start in one park and go to any other park throughout that day. So maybe you start at Magic Kingdom and then you go to Epcot at night, or maybe you start at Animal Kingdom and then in the evening you go to Magic Kingdom. You need to know what works best for you. People feel very strongly one way or the other. I think that I am a park hopper ticket person, but that does not mean that I don't think base tickets are correct for the right kind of people. People will feel strongly about it and they will tell you about it. So we could talk about that a different time. There's also water parks. And if you're going before 2025, water parks, in 2025, if you book a package reservation, the first day, your check-in day, you have an option to go to the water parks and it doesn't cost you anything. If you want to go to the water parks on different days, you can add on water park tickets to either the base ticket or the park hopper ticket. You also want to think about, when you're thinking about how many days you're going to go into the parks, are you also going to go to Universal Studios? So if you don't know, Universal Studios is about 30 minutes down the street, and that is where Harry Potter lives. It does not live at anywhere in Disney World. So if you're looking for Harry Potter things, that's going to be at Universal Studios. So are you going to one of the days go to Universal Studios, or 2 of the days go to Universal Studios? Maybe, maybe not. But that would factor into how many days of tickets you want at Disney World. Then you want to think about your rest days. I highly recommend at least one rest day when you're going to Disney World. It makes everyone's feet and bodies feel so much better. But that would be another thing that I would think about, is how many rest days you want during that time. Another thing you want to think about are those dining options. So are you going to want those dining plans? So there's 2 different types of dining plans. There is the Disney dining plan and the quick service dining plan. So the Disney dining plan gives you 1 table service or 1 sit down meal a day, 1 quick service option per day, and 1 snack per day. Your drinks are included. So you do get 1 alcoholic drink. If you're not of age, then you get, 1 specialty drink at the table service option when you're doing that. A lot of them include character meals. Sometimes the table service meals, if you're using the dining plan, you need 2 table service credits per reservation. Meaning that if I want to go to Cinderella's Royal Table, I can't just use 1 table service credit. I need to use 2. And I have a whole show all about the dining episodes, which I will put below. So you can check that out and understand the dining plan. The other option is the quick service option. And that's when you get 2 quick service options per day and then 1 snack. You also, with both dining plans, you will get the refillable mug that is at your resort. So at your resort, you have option to that free style Coke machine that you can use to get drinks there also. But you can decide. A lot of times we will do a quick service dining plan and then pay for our table service meals, because we'll only do like 1 or 2 throughout our trip. Those character meals, if you want to do character meals, you want to make sure that that's a priority for you and you understand how they work and understand the credits if you're using the dining plan. If you're not using the dining plan, you just want to understand that 60 days of reserving your dining time, what that looks like, how you're going to plan it throughout your days, what makes sense with dining based on what your plan is for that day. If I'm going to be at Magic Kingdom, I don't want to plan that my dining is going to be at Animal Kingdom that day. That doesn't make sense. So think about those dining options and how it's going to best work. There are also signature restaurants at dining. These are very elevated experiences, and those are options too. So don't count those out. And know that if you get the Disney dining plan or the quick service plan, that it does not mean that every place that is on Disney World property goes and follows the dining plan. So some restaurants do not offer the dining plan. So you want to look at that before you do that. There's a lot of information about dining here. So make sure you go watch that other video if you don't know anything about the Disney dining information. So extras you want to think about. Genie Plus, again, I have a video on that, but Genie Plus is, that front of the line access to rides that you need to pay for. And at the time of this recording in 2024, you are paying for it per day. So every morning you have to wake up, purchase Genie Plus if you want it. There's also something called individual lightning lane that you can also purchase. So if you please know it's dynamic pricing for Genie Plus. So if you want that front of the line access, you need to pay for it. And that's something that you can't prepay for at this time. It could change over time. And I might not remake this video right away. So make sure that you check that out and look on your own. But you want to budget that in for Genie Plus. And since it's dynamic pricing, I can't say that it's a certain price every day. Just know it's anywhere between $15 and $40 per day per person. That's for Genie Plus. Individual lightning lane can range also anywhere between $9 and at this time, $25 per ride per person. There are also other extras like the Halloween party tickets and Christmas party tickets. Those tickets are for special occasions at Magic Kingdom on select nights. They will have a special event for Halloween and Christmas. If you would like to purchase those tickets, you want to make sure that you purchase those. Obviously, those are separate than regular park tickets. There are after hours events, so you can spend money on those also. If you would like to build a droid or a lightsaber when you're in Hollywood Studios and you are interested in Galaxy's Edge, those are reservation experiences and those are extras. Another thing that they have at Walt Disney World is they have tours. So there are different tours that you can look at and see if they are right for you. And they're like physical tours where like you might see how like the Magic Kingdom works in different ways and things like that. It's called the Keys to the Kingdom tour. So if you're like a history person or you're trying to find a different way that someone might be interested in going to Disney World, that might be of interest to them. Now, there's also a VIP tour. And VIP tours are amazing experiences. You can have up to 10 people. That includes infants in your group. And these VIP guides will guide you around the parks. They will take you onto the rides, get you front of the line access, give you special access throughout your day or throughout the hours that you pay for them. It's a minimum of 7 hours. So it definitely makes your life easy having a VIP tour. So don't discount it. There are so many different ways VIP tours could be helpful for you, and especially if you're in a group. Now, once you've had all that stuff, you've planned so much already, right? You've figured out your budget. You know where you're going to stay. You know the dates you're going to be there. You know the dining. You know the extras that you want to add. Now it's time to really sit down and plan each day. You really do need to go into each day with a strategy, and you can use a travel advisor like myself, or you can do it on your own. It depends on your level of what you're looking for. But if you're trying to plan each day, you want to look at your dining. That's where you start. What does my dining look like for what we have? And now I'm going to pick what's closest to my dining that day. You want to think about breaks. Are you going to have breaks in your day? Or are you going all day long? And are you going to have backup plans for these? Things happen. Weather happens. Ride closures happen. All different types of things. People get sick. So have just like a little like back pocket of, okay, if something happens, we could do this. And think about those special events. Is a Halloween party happening on the day that you're going to Magic Kingdom? Well, Magic Kingdom is going to close for you at 7 p.m. and you're going to miss out on fireworks. So that's not a good day to go to Magic Kingdom. So you really want to know what the schedule is and look at that and make your itinerary so that you're prepared for that. The biggest thing that I can help you with this process is that you want to remember that you want to know and understand Genie Plus. You want to know the My Disney Experience app. You want to know how it works, and you want to know how Genie Plus works. So if you're going to use Genie Plus, you really want to study it. If Genie Plus is going to be too much for you, I really encourage you to look into a VIP tour. It will make your life a lot easier. You don't have to think as much. Then it's, this is my vacation and I get to show up and I just have to think about what rides we might want to do. Park hours are super important. They change. They often only update 60 days in advance. You really want to look. Sometimes there are things that come up, especially in Magic Kingdom, where Magic Kingdom will close early. Please look at that and look at that before you go. Rope drop is also important. Rope drop will help you so that you understand how to get the maximize your time. I do have a rope drop video that I will put below, but rope drop is when the park actually opens. So a lot of times it'll say like, oh, Magic Kingdoms opens at 9 o'clock. Well, early entry already started for guests on property. So did you miss early entry? Are you really doing rope drop? Um, and just a strategy that how you can use that rope drop strategy. And then the other thing you want to think about is the time between the parks. If you're park hopping or you're doing things where you're leaving the parks to go eat, you want to think about that time it's going to take, especially if you are going to feel overwhelmed. You want to think about how much you're going to be moving around and how much time it actually takes between the parks and your hotel. The last thing is you know your kids. You know your kids more than anyone else. You need to think about their needs. You might want to be a park person who goes to the park from the minute it opens till the minute it closes, but your kids might not be able to handle that. So you need to know that and you need to schedule it more for what they need so that you're not having meltdowns from them and you're not having a meltdown because you plan this vacation and they can't follow anything. If there are important things with the kids and you need to tell them, you say, look, it's really important that we get up at this time and leave by this time so that we can make sure that we ride Peter Pan, the ride that you've been looking forward to ride, and we don't have to wait for an hour. Explaining to the kids why you're doing something will also help them. And knowing that if you can do what are your 3 things of the day that you want to accomplish, and after that, everything else is a bonus. Think of it like that. That will help you the most. I am also going to put below, I have like a printed out version of this. So if you're a more visual person and you're like, I need to look at something on my computer instead of a list like this, I will have that link below so you can click on that and you can check it out. So if you have questions, please let me know below. Check out some of the other videos I have there too. They will be helpful for you in planning your Disney World vacation. And most of all, get ready. You're going to Disney World. Like, let's do it. Don't wait. Just go. Let's start planning. And ask me any questions you got. So, all right, that will do it for today's show. And I will see you next time on Magical Travel Adventure.